Hi, my name is Christian, and I'm one of the student event staff members of Chico State's Town Hall meeting. Thank you for taking the time out to record this interview with us, and we are excited to spend a few minutes about learning about your experience with your work with electing supportive public officials. To get us started, would you please tell us your name, occupation, and a little bit about your experience with public activism?
Okay. My name is Debra Lucero, and I have been an elected official for almost 2 years now. It's my first office that I've ever held. Prior to that, I worked for 20 years, and I still work in arts and culture. I run the state local partnership, Friends of the Arts Upstate Community Enhancement Foundation with the California Arts Council. And so I work with many different types of groups, multidisciplinary arts groups, theater, everything from the spoken word to painting and singing. And we've done projects to festivals. We currently run 5 or 6 festivals in Butte County, which this year has been a very different year, obviously. We've partnered a lot with Chico State to bring various, we were supposed to be doing a Latinx music festival this year with Chico State, but obviously we're hoping that we can pick that up next year, hoping that everything reopens. So I'm 6th generation Butte County. I've left and come back a few times, so I'm pretty dedicated to this spot on the planet.
Yeah, thank you for that. What can you tell us about work to elect supportive public officials?
Well, it really starts there. If you don't get somebody elected in office that shares your value set, there's really not much you can do after that. And for anybody that doesn't believe that's true, you need to take a look at the last 4 years and check out what has happened in our country. There's been such a division in our country at the top that we've been very divided. The office that I'm currently in is a nonpartisan office. That means that we don't run as a Democrat or a Republican or as an independent because it's a nonpartisan office. So I don't have an R or a D after my name. And that's really because the decisions that we undertake at the county level are primarily land use decisions. We also are heavily involved in public health and behavioral health issues, which goes back to homelessness and mental health issues. The jail, we operate the jail. There are over 3,000 counties in the country, and a lot of people don't realize how much decision-making goes on in those county entities. Each county in the state of California, except for 2, have 5 supervisors. And San Francisco is a county and a city. And San Diego is also a county and a city. So their elected officials combine with the city and the county. But there are very important decisions that are made regarding homelessness, regarding mental health issues, regarding the local jails, regarding land use. So I'm always encouraging people, particularly young people, to understand the levels of local government, because I truly believe all government is local.
Yeah. Okay. How committed are you overall, well, to the overall efficiency of this action?
Committed in terms of helping other people get to this office. I'm very committed. I'd like to see younger people running for office. I'd like younger people to be coming out and voting in droves. I think that, you hold the power. You literally hold the power to the future. And it's like understanding how that key fits into the lock. And then how do you turn that key? And what does it open up to? That's the power of the system, but the system doesn't work without participation. So it's more important than ever that we participate and that we get other people participating in running for office. And it's difficult to run for office. I had never run for office before. It was a first time experience for me. And I ran against a career politician of 24 years who had been in office for 24 years. So, but I had some advantages. I was a known factor here in the area because I had been a community organizer for many years, for 20 years. I've been organizing festivals and people, doing various projects in diverse communities for the past 20 years, working in arts and culture and agriculture and economic development through these activities. So it wasn't as though I just came out of nowhere. And I think that that is a key to success for people that are seeking office, is learning community organizing, understanding that nothing happens without community, not a single action, not a speed bump, not a stop sign. It doesn't happen without people participating.
Yeah, I totally agree with you about community. So what are some tips that you can share about successfully using this action? And could you share any success stories that you've had with using this action as well?
Well, I think, my story is a success story. I'm the first Latina woman ever elected to the Board of Supervisors in Butte County. My father was a community organizer for the Latino community in our small town north of here. He helped the farm workers when they ended up in the hospital or in trouble. He was the person who went to the hospital or to the police station or wherever he was needed to help interpret. And I learned a lot of the skill set that I have from him. And that was simply, you need to help someone other than yourself. If you want a better community, it starts with you. So if you want a better community, it starts with you and your family and helping others around you, helping others participate in society, helping others get to a new place in society, because you're only as good as those who are around you. So my dad used to say, birds of a feather flock together. It used to drive me crazy, because he would be very critical sometimes about the people that I hung out with. Hey, you need to be hanging out with those people. But I learned a lot. It's like, who do you want to be? How do you want to affect this world? And so I think it's having a clear vision, and then it's being able to articulate the vision. And then it's understanding how to utilize the tools to get there. And today we have so many more tools than, say, 20 or 30 years ago, when you had basically, newspapers and television and radio, which were all powerful tools. But today we have digital media, which are very powerful and not as expensive. But sometimes up here in the North State, some of the old school tools work the best, whether it's a sign out in your front yard or a sign in your window, or, I just love the fact that AOC, in Congress has been using online gaming to actually participate and get younger people engaged with voting. And playing games with them, engaging in games, and at the same time, getting her message out, you need to vote. And so I think that creatively, you need to be always looking at what's on the horizon. How can you engage with people in an authentic and real way? I don't think anything is better than going and visiting somebody in their home and speaking to 20 people, speaking to a handful of people. I never thought speaking to just one person was a waste of time. The only way you win over hearts and minds is to continually reach out and talk to people and find out what their issues are. Find out, what their needs are. If you don't know those needs and you don't understand what they want, then you can't deliver as a politician. And I'm only here to deliver what the people need. I'm just a vehicle for that. And if I don't stay in touch or don't know how to stay in touch, then I'm out of touch. And then that's when you need to go.
Yes, yes, I totally agree with you. Connecting with the community is totally important.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Well, again, I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I just really encourage young people to get involved. Even if it's just getting involved. When I was a kid, I was president of my class from 8th grade all the way through high school until my senior year. I found out if you were president, you had to plan the class reunion. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to do that. But I started somewhere. I started, with just to become the president of something or organize a club. I organized a lot of clubs when I was a kid. It's finding something you're passionate about and then organize around it. Maybe you're passionate about butterflies, and you want to make sure that butterflies are going to be around for your children. Then organize around it. Find out about butterflies. Find out where they migrate to and where they are going and why and what is endangering them. But whatever it is that you're passionate about, just go for it and learn as much as you can, and then utilize the tools that we have available to us today and learn how to write. And because I'll tell you, writing is key. Writing is key. You got to be able to articulate your vision, and it takes writing. But some of us can speak, almost better than we can write. So whatever it is, it's all about communication.
All right. Thank you, Deborah, for so much of your
Hey,
time.
thank you, Christian. Yeah.